Bentornati, welcome back to our Italian show, Itali-Echo. This is your host, Viviana Dragani. Thank you for tuning in every Monday from 12 to 2 at WNTN Radio Boston. I would like to share a great event for the Italian American community. The new opera company of Boston is performing Giuseppe Verdi's classic Italian opera, La Traviata, at the Dante Alighieri Society of Massachusetts in Cambridge. So save those dates, June 20th and June 21st at 7 p.m. The production features a star-studded cast, including Grammy-nominated artists like tenor Omar Naimi, soprano Chelsea Basler, and internationally acclaimed baritone Ilya Silchukou, who happens to be here. Welcome.
Buongiorno Viviana, buongiorno a tutti. Hey everyone.
Hi, thank you for joining us. And also, I am very pleased to host the conductor of the new Opera Company of Boston, Nathaniel Meyer. Thank you for being with us.
Buongiorno. Very nice to see you. It's great to be here.
So, the first question is for Ilya. For listeners who may never have seen an opera, what is La Traviata about, and why has it remained one of the world's most beloved operas?
I think the Traviata is one of the three top staged operas ever appeared on stage. And this is the story that tells us about love itself and the love that's everlasting and the love that can make a sacrifice, which is not a commonly, we don't see it every day in our routine life. That's why it's so captivating. And besides, it's just a gem. I mean, among operas of Giuseppe Verdi, all of them are very important, and all of them are cornerstones of the legacy that we have in opera. But still, La Traviata, I think, is one of the most well loved by the audience, and it has special place in my heart too.
Absolutely. And for Nathaniel, so as a conductor, how do you approach a masterpiece that many opera lovers know by heart?
Well, for me, to approach a score as brilliant as this, as genius as this, is a great challenge. It's like Mount Everest climbing the tallest mountain, and it's a big responsibility to realize this music in the detail that Verdi wanted, all of the markings in the score, but to try to bring it alive for the audience and for the singers, as if we can imagine it has never been performed before, that we're playing it for the first time, and try to get all of the phrasings and all the dynamics to feel really fresh and new, and for the audience to experience it as if it is the first time they're hearing it, and they can fall in love with Alfredo and Violetta as if for the first time and see this beautiful arc unfold. And I think every performance is a little different in terms of the staging, in terms of the venue, and in terms of the soloists. And we have a very special, incredibly special group of soloists to present at the Dante. We're so excited for that.
Thank you. Ilya, this production is described as immersive. What does that mean in practice for audience members attending the performance?
Well, there is something special. I think Nathaniel can tell more, but on my singer side, I think this is unique experience for me, because usually you are divided by the orchestra from the audience in regular theater venues and opera houses, and here is special, and that's why I'm so thrilled and looking forward, and strongly recommend to attend this event, because we are going to be alongside. So like, we're going to be infused into the audience, we're going to be right there, and we will appear in a very unique way, I'd say. So that means that the venue is special there, and the Dante Society itself, who ever been there, it allows you to make like a lot of staging and novel how to say novelties, no novelties, innovations.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm so curious what will happen, and strongly recommend to attend it, because we are going to be around, surrounded by the audience, and we will appear and disappear. And each of you, those who will come, may find themselves somewhere at the best places of Paris, and be right in the center of the happening. That's why it's so exciting and so special.
Thanks, Ilya. And I would like to know from Nathaniel, what are the challenges of conducting an immersive production, and how does it differ from conducting in a traditional theater?
Ilya mentioned a few of the points, but one of the special moments is when the singers appear, and I'm giving some of it away, in the audience, mingling with the audience, pouring some drinks for the audience, enjoying this toast all together as a group in the opening act, and then appearing from different balconies. The Dante is a beautifully constructed eight-sided building by a very famous Italian-American architect, Pietro Bellusci, who intended, when he designed the building, for small operatic performances. So it's acoustically very beautiful to sing in for the singers. It's very easy for them to project the voice. We have a small orchestra, a very intimate 25-piece orchestra. So it feels like a salon atmosphere, as if you were to be in Violetta's salon in 19th century Paris, and hearing a small orchestra play and hearing people sing and enjoying great food and drink and camaraderie. The
Thank
challenge
you.
of this is also to
Go
keep
on.
the orchestra very obviously in tune, but also underneath the singers all the time, so they are the stars, and to feature them.
Thank you so much. And another question for Ilya. Giuseppe Verdi was a master of dramatic pacing. What can audiences listen for in the score that reveals the emotional journey of the characters?
Well, we see that everyone has, which is captivating, and which make me always thinking over that novel and opera and story, is that, in my personal opinion, we cannot find there any positive or negative character. There are no white and blacks, and each one, including my part of Giorgio Germon, the father of Alfredo, who is in search of greater good for his son, and knowing that Alexandre Dumas himself uh, had a very sensitive relationship with his father, being not an unofficial son of Alexandre Dumas the old, and this theme uh, of parenting, like of father and son relationships, is something that I like investigate on. And for me personally, how Giorgio shows up very demanding, with a commanding voice, trying to solve the problem right there and save the reputation of the family, because it was very important. And Alfredo was like, with his efforts, with his falling in love, he was about to ruin everything that they have been built for ages, maybe. And his transformation into third act, where he's falling on his knees, seeing that maybe there is something more important in life than your own reputation and the sake of the greater good for your family in your perspective. So this is what thrills me the most and intriguing in this masterpiece. And each character, Violetta is changing and transforming too, and of course Alfredo. And we see that all of them are to, all together in the same story, and the roots of each one is in others, and we see them interacting, and we see the transformation of their stories. So this is, I'm a little bit limited in English how to to put it in words in a way that's,
No, you've been
yeah.
great. That's
Yeah,
so
thank you. I appreciate
captivating.
it. I appreciate it. But this is, yeah, this is something very touching.
Yeah, touching and captivating. Thank you so
Yes.
much for sharing it. Nathaniel, how do you balance musical precision with the spontaneity that comes from performers and audience sharing the same space?
It's amazing the alchemy that happens when performers make music, and it's very mysterious and it's hard to put it into words. But as a conductor, I'm leading and also responding to the singers and what they're offering, and the phrasing that they make, and the basic tempos that we choose. We rehearse them, and they are essentially the same. We get used to the certain tempos, but there's always a little give and take, and maybe sometimes it moves a little, maybe sometimes it slows down. But the idea of the conductor is to bring it all together and to, first of all, make it all sound together. It's the most important aspect of a conductor is to keep it precise. And then once it's precise, to try to create a musical architecture and to tell the story from one moment to the next, a little bit like a filmmaker stringing together individual scenes. If you see just one picture in a movie, it's still, but if you string them together, you have a film. And conducting is a very philosophical and psychological, and I would say also spiritual calling. And to work with such artists who sung at the Met and at La Scala and here in Boston, these are some of the top artists singing these roles that we have. And it's an honor and a privilege to work with them. And I'm learning a lot every day about always how to lead even better. And they are inspiring to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And last question for our amazing baritone. What do you hope audience members feel when they leave the performance?
Thank you, Viviana. I hope, and I'm not only hope, I'm sure that you will be transformed. You would be elevated. You would be inspired by the story. Always when we are acquainted with classical masterpieces, with the music that is already eternal. So we are constantly being transformed. So if you have spare evening, if you have a weekend, I strongly recommend to come and enjoy that music, to tune up your soul and to elevate yourself into something bigger and greater than our everyday's routine. And I think this is a very rare opportunity for Greater Boston area, and I strongly recommend. Looking forward seeing you guys in the audience on the venue and share that delightment together. Share the opportunity to enjoy music and let it infuse us and let it change us to our greatest version of us.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And in bocca al lupo, break a leg, good
Crepi,
luck.
crepi, crepi, crepi.
Thank
Grazie.
you.
Grazie, grazie.